Hi, and welcome to Focus on Frisco. I'm Shannon Fallon. It's great to see you all. I don't think I've seen you since before the end of last year. So it's a new year, lots of new stuff coming up. The first thing that we are going to talk about today is the elections, and then we're going to talk about some amazing art that you're going to start to see in and around Frisco. So stay with us right here on Focus on Frisco. Welcome back to Focus on Frisco. Thanks for sticking around. So you know that when you hear the term elections, that means Deborah Wohlmuth is going to come on and see us. So Deborah, thank you for joining me today. You know that I'm super nerdy about elections, so this is one of my favorite shows that we have.
Me too, so this is a good fit.
I know, right? This is great. So the elections are coming up, and we're not talking presidential elections on this one. Yep. Let's pause for a quick second for those of you who are watching and have received a ballot. Hopefully, by the time you see this, you've already filled out that ballot, sent it back in, and you're going to be looking for a new one because the one that we're talking about today has absolutely nothing to do with the presidential elections.
Correct.
All right. So what we're talking about is town elections.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so talk to me. What you got?
Well, we have a municipal election on April 7th. It's mail ballot election for our mayoral position and 3 council seats.
Mayoral and 3 council seats.
Correct.
All right. Are we going to see anything, and this may not be something that you necessarily talk to, but are we going to be seeing anything leading up to it in terms of speaking with the candidates
Absolutely.
At forums
yeah,
and things
totally.
like that?
We will.
Okay.
So the first thing that you're going to see is your ballot, and that should be coming out the week of March 16th, so Monday, March 16th, anytime through that week. And that very same week, we're going to have a candidates forum. So you'll have a chance to meet all of our candidates on Tuesday, March 17th at Frisco Town Hall at 6 o'clock in the evening.
So write that down, but I'm guessing you can also go on to friscogov.com and townoffrisco.com to get the information
Absolutely.
on all of that.
Yep.
So there are 4 total seats going up. Yep. If you are not familiar with this, the way that the mayoral race is that they actually run for mayor. It's
Yes.
not the top vote getter that becomes
Correct.
mayor, but they are actually. And how many candidates do we have running for mayor?
Certainly. So the mayoral position only has 1 candidate. It is Hunter Mortensen, who is currently our mayor pro tem, and he is running unopposed.
Fantastic. And
but
then
you will still see him on the ballot.
Yes, well,
Yep.
of course, because it is very important to vote
Yes,
nonetheless.
absolutely.
Yeah. And then we have 3 other seats open. How many people are in the running for those 3 seats?
We have 5.
Fantastic. Well,
Yes.
so it's really going to be an election this year.
Absolutely, it is an election. And if you can't make it to the candidate forum and you're curious, you can also go to friscogov.com, and we have a candidate biography page, so you can check out what they're all about.
And that's a great way to start, in the next couple of weeks, even though you don't have your ballot yet. Over the next couple of weeks, it's smart to go on, take a look, because as we tell you every single time there's an election, your vote counts. And these are the people that are representing you, so see what they're standing for, see what they're talking about, what their interests are. I remember a couple of years ago, the big thing was housing.
Yes.
That was one of the really big topics, I'm guessing. It's still one of the really big topics. But this is a great way for you to understand where everybody stands on these issues and who you want representing you.
Yeah, absolutely. And at that candidate forum, they'll all each have an opportunity to have a little opening time to talk about themselves, and then the moderator, Roman Moore, will present questions to each of them, and they'll get the same questions, and we'll have about an hour and a half, and the audience will have an opportunity to ask questions too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And that's over at Town Hall. So once you get your ballot, once you have a chance to either go to the forum or go online to figure out the stands of all the candidates, then fill out your ballot. The biggest thing that it has to be in the office by April 7th.
Tuesday,
Yes.
April 7th is the election.
Not postmarked.
Nope, not postmarked. It has to be in my hands by 7 p.m. You can mail it. You can also stop by Town Hall. We have a 24-hour drop box in our foyer, so you don't have to see anybody if you don't want to. You can just walk into Town Hall at 1 Main Street and drop it off at the ballot box.
What a great point. You can do it
Yeah.
undercover. But I have to say, my nerdiness comes out when I don't get a sticker that says I voted.
Oh, we try and leave some stickers at
Do
the
you?
ballot box
Okay,
so that
good.
you can grab one.
All right, well, that's great.
Yeah, a couple things to know about mail ballots. Some people want to know what the postage is. We anticipate that it is 55 cents. We don't expect over postage as long as there's nothing else that you're putting in the envelope besides the ballot and the secrecy sleeve. The other
Which
thing
you shouldn't do anyway.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Sometimes people do,
Yeah.
so we just try to make sure they know. The other thing that you need to be aware of is you must sign your return envelope. We cannot count your ballot unless you sign the envelope. We will do our best to find you and give you a note saying you didn't sign it so that you can rectify it, but we need to have that signature.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yep.
Talk about great customer service.
I'll help find you.
Right. I like your style. That's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Good. Well, send it in early. That's the best way in case you do forget, because it happens to all of us, right?
Sometimes the postal office gets delayed with snow.
Right. Yep. So send it early, get it in, make your decisions, and know that you have had your voice heard, which is very, very cool.
Absolutely.
Is this the route that we're going to be going from now on? Is it going to be all mail-in ballots until we go electronic, which I don't recommend?
Well, it is certainly the option of the local government to decide whether they would prefer a polling place or a mail ballot. Frisco has been doing it since 2009 this way. We see a better voter turnout, so I don't anticipate that this would change. The county and state elections have now been required to go to mail ballot, so you will always see it that way for them.
Okay. And one last thing about the ballots is if people are not registered to vote, say they just moved into town, let's talk a little bit about that, because there's still a chance.
That is a great question. The state of Colorado does a really good job of engaging voters. You can register to vote up until the day of the election, which is great news. But there are two requirements that you have. One is that you are at least 18 years old on the day of the election, and two is that you have been a resident in Frisco for 22 days.
22.
Yep, 22 days.
All right.
And so there's a couple ways to get registered to vote, and we turn it around very quickly. The easiest way to do this is to go to govotecolorado.com. This is the Secretary of State's website. You can check your voter registration information there, so you can register to vote. You can make sure that your physical address is correct, that your mailing address is correct. If you have a different place that you need us to mail the ballot to, because we don't forward ballots, you can do all of it there, and they turn that information around to us within 24 hours. If you don't want to go online, you can come to the town hall, you can go to the county offices, you can go to the DMV, you can get paperwork to register to vote at any of those locations.
All I'm saying is there's no excuse not to register to vote.
Yeah, we make it
Because you make it pretty easy. Yeah, you do. Yeah.
And the one other piece I would tell you is if you're newly registering to vote, we will ask you to also provide identification. It can be a Colorado driver's license, a passport, a military ID. If you didn't provide that when you registered to vote, you will get something in with your ballot that asks you for that information.
So just briefly, it caught my ear when you said that if you are in a different location than where you normally live or where your P.O. box is, you guys will mail something.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is an absentee ballot. It's different than a mail ballot because it's in a different spot. Again, the U.S. Postal Service isn't allowed to forward ballots, election correspondence. So we need the information to get it to you. You can come into town hall and pick up the ballots. You can request that we mail it to you. We just need to have that request by Friday, April 3rd in order to send it. And honestly, I won't guarantee that you're going to get it if you ask for it in the mail on Friday, April 3rd. So,
well, right, because by the time it gets out and then you turn it around and turn it in, that's going to be pretty tough. So do it sooner. Again, do it early. Yeah. All right. Wow. So this is great information. Again, the election is April 7th. You're going to be getting your ballots anytime around March 16th.
Yep.
So be looking for those. Know that it is not a duplicate of the one that you hopefully just filled out. Take a chance to look through everything and then go to the candidates forum when they can, right?
Absolutely.
It's so exciting. I love election time.
Me too.
So let's talk a little bit about the next kind of governmental thing that's coming out, and it's the census.
Yeah.
It's the 2020 census.
Yeah, thank you for bringing it up.
Yeah.
So the federal government does the census every 10 years, and this is the year. You'll start seeing mail coming, postcards just letting you know that it's happening sometime in March. We will see more mail going out probably in April, census workers, May and June. They are asking you to either fill out the paperwork, go online to 2020census.gov, or speak with census workers.
And I think it is not necessarily misunderstood, but not appreciated what the census actually does. And you and I, before the show, were talking a little bit about it because it's not just counting heads.
No,
it
it's
really
so
has
important.
an impact on your community.
It has a financial impact on the state of Colorado and on your local government. The estimates from the federal government are that they allocate approximately $20,000 per person in funding over the course of 10 years based on the census count to local and state government.
Right,
so it's a really big deal.
And it really is. So think about all the things that you go through in your mind that could be fixed, that need more money, that need some attention. And if you think about $20,000 per person, even in Frisco alone, I mean, that is
it's huge.
It is.
And with the schools too. I mean, it's funding school districts and special districts. It's funding all of the local governments.
It really is. So don't take it lightly. And when people are looking for you at your door, don't hide. They're quick questions. It is. It's easy and it's useful.
Right. And they're asking you to count yourself, to count your roommates, to count your partners. If you've got your grandparents or parents living there, if you've got children and babies living there, roommates, guys sleeping on the sofa, they want to know about everybody so that they can count them in this census. And they've also indicated, if you're not sure if somebody in your household has already filled it out, fill it out again. They do have the tools to differentiate if they've received duplicate information. So it's better to do it twice than to just do it once.
That's or not do it at all because you think it's already been done. Okay, so this is really big. Again, the website for this is 20census.gov to get more information. And then when they do come around to the doors and things like that, make sure you answer. I think that there are still people who the government is still looking for people to be census takers, so people can certainly do that too.
So I think it's that same website, 2020census.gov/jobs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you, as usual, have been an amazing amount of information today. Don't forget that you can go and see Deborah over at the town hall if you have questions about the election. And really, I think at the end of the day, all we say is get out there and vote.
Please.
Yeah. All right, Deborah, thanks for coming on today.
Shannon.
Always good to see
Appreciate you.
We're going to take a quick break here on Focus on Frisco, so don't go anywhere. When we come back, Melissa Sherburne is going to be joining me, and we're going to be talking about some new art installations here in the town of Frisco. So stay with us.